So welcome back to Outside Lives. It's a beautiful day here after we've had lots of rain, and so it feels so beautiful today to have this gentle breeze and the warmth of the sun. And quite appropriate because today I'd like to share with you the Dru inner fire sequence. So we always like to celebrate the heat and the warmth and the glory of the sun outside in the sky, and so it's focusing today on our internal sun, activating our internal fire. So the inner fire sequence is one of Dru's most important sequences for transforming turbulence or emotional imbalance into positive counterparts, into joy, into confidence, and into inner strength. So as you know, Dru Yoga is not just, we focus a lot on the different koshic levels. It's not just the physical health. We're looking also to bring balance to our emotional and mental health as well, so that through the ups and downs of life, and there seem to be quite a lot of ups and downs at the moment, through the ups and downs of life, we can find that we can find a place of stillness and inner courage and even joy, so that we can stay balanced throughout turbulence. So that's the idea. So if you would like to join me, then we'll do some activations and then we're going to move into the inner fire sequence. I'll just take my socks off. So find yourself a nice place for your yoga mat and have a glass of water at the ready, and then let's go. So we're going to begin by just loosening up, shaking into the hands, shaking into the arms, just letting go of any tightness or tension on the out breath. I'm just going to sort out my notes there. Shaking into the leg, from the hip all the way to the toes, shaking into the other leg. Lovely. Shaking out any tension or stress from the hip through the knee to the toes, and then the whole body really soft, really letting go. Wonderful. Pausing, breathing in, breathing out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Great stuff. So let's go into our nice figure of eight, where we imagine we have a ball of light between the hands, and we're going to lift through the heart and draw a figure of eight on its side through the heart center, transferring the weight from one side to the other and noticing how does that feel in my back, in my shoulders, elbows and wrists, knees and hips, gently moving, and transferring then that figure of eight into the spinal twist. So the figure of eight is moving out to the side, and we're gently lifting up that back heel. Great stuff. And take that figure of eight down to the floor, and then release the arms, just let them hang down a moment. Release the head, breathing mindfully in and out of the nostrils, zigzagging in the feet, bending the knees and uncurling the spine nice and slowly, and release. Lovely. So my notes keep moving. I've got some rocks here to keep them in place. We're going to move into the eagle stretch. So placing one foot, we'll place the right foot in front. And we're just going to transfer the weight forward and back to begin. And then bringing out the arms like the wings of an eagle, stretching forward, and then making fists and drawing that back to the heart. So we breathe in and we breathe out. And again, we can use that mouth breath as we breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Drawing strength and power back to your own heart. Breathe in. One more, breathe in. And then as the body's upright, the feet stay where they are. Take the hands behind, interlock the hands behind the back and draw in the shoulder blades towards each other. And then we're going to hinge forward from the hips. If you want to stay here parallel, that's fine. If you want to drop the head and lift up the arms. So the shoulder blades are lifting and we're getting a nice hamstring stretch at the front. Don't worry if your leg wants to be a little bit bent, that's obviously fine. So breathing into that beautiful stretch across the chest, the hamstrings, and then releasing the hands, bringing the arms up and coming down. Let's try that on the other side. So placing the left foot forward, transferring the weight forward and back. Bringing the arms like eagle's wings round. So at this point, the back leg, the torso and the arms are in a straight line. Gather that strength and power that belongs to you and draw it back to the heart. Breathing in. Take hold. Drawing back what belongs to you. Take hold. Wonderful. 2 more. 1 more. Wonderful. Bring the arms down the side. Interlock the hands behind the back and draw the shoulder blades towards each other. And then hinge forward from the hips, creating that lovely hamstring stretch. If you prefer to have the front knee bent, that's fine. And lifting the arms up only as far as is comfy for you. Beautiful stretch through the chest. And then release. And then uncurl. Bring the feet back together. Just going to move my notes onto the next page. There we go. So just for a lovely spinal wave, we're going to lift the arms and then with nice soft knees, lean over as though you're leaning over an absolutely massive beach ball. Bring the arms down. Bend deep into the knees and very slowly on your in-breath, uncurl the spine. Breathe in as you lift. Let's try that a few more times. So reaching over that massive beach ball, dropping down, bending the knees, uncurl as you breathe in. How good does that feel? Breathing in, soften knees, hinge from the hips, stretch over that ball. Drop down, pause there for a moment. Breathe in normally as the body hangs down from the hips in peace posture. And then bend into the knees and uncurl. Nice and slow. All the way up. In breath, out breath, coming down. Just shaking through. And then noticing, how does my body feel now? Is it any lighter, any softer? So we're going to pause for a moment in Tadasana before we move into the inner fire sequence. Just enjoying feeling the feet rooted to the ground. Really enjoying the connection between the feet and the ground beneath. Soft knees. Hips in neutral and this upper body is growing out of the hips so the core engages, the sternum lifts. Take the shoulders up, behind and down so the arms can hang really carefree from the shoulders. And feel a lengthening in the back of the neck. We're not pushing the head back. So the chin is slightly tucked in and parallel. Soften the features of the face. And just for a few moments, feel that the crown is lifting to the sky very minutely on the in-breath and the body softening into the feet and the earth on the out-breath. Rise into the sky on the in-breath and grounding into the earth on the out-breath. Lovely. So the first posture that we're going to go into for the inner fire sequence is the beamer posture. So we're going to step out nice and wide to the right, nice wide stance. And then we're going to bring the arms out. And then we're going to pivot on this right heel 90 degrees, left heel back. And then we're going to sink into that knee like we do in Warrior One. So we're in a Warrior One here. We sink into this knee, but we're not leaning the body yet. The body's upright. And then we're going to drop the hand to the knee and lift up the arm. So there we go. Beamer One. So I feel I have a good alignment with my hand on the knee. If you prefer to take the elbow to the knee and have a really strong stretch through the side, as long as you feel that the whole of the back of the body, as though it's plastered against the wall, so we're not leaning forward. So push into the foot, lift and release. So let's just do that one more time. So stepping out wide to the right. We'll do the feet first this time. Pivot on the right heel 90 degrees, left heel back. The hips we want to keep facing forward. Breathe in, open the arms. Breathe out, sink into the knee. And as you do, drop the hand to the knee and lift the other arm up and then over the head. Wonderful. Feel that lovely stretch, really strong beamer posture. Remember, if you want to take the elbow to the knee, that is fine. And then breathe in, lift, and breathe out, come down. So we can already feel in what apparently looks like a simple posture that strength is building in the body and that we're activating our inner fire as we move into that beamer. So let's try it to the left. So stepping out wide to the left. Pivot on the left foot 90 degrees, right heel back. Keep the hips nice and forward. Breathe in. Breathe out, sink into the knee. Keep the knee over the ankle, not flopping forward. And then we're going to drop down, hand to knee as we lift this arm up to the sky. And then the palm facing towards the floor. If you're happy to, just bring it over the body and create that magnificent stretch and feel as though your inner fire is being activated right in the center of Manipura. And then push into the foot and lift. Bring the arms down and just release the upper body for a moment down before we move on. Let everything loosen and then breathe in, come up and open. So from the beamer posture, we're now going to add the rotated triangle. So the rotated triangle has a beautiful twist in it, and twists are really good for squeezing out any frustration, even anger, any frustrations, that any sensations or feelings that are quite fiery. We can squeeze them out with this lovely rotated triangle. So stepping out wide to the right. Adjust the feet, 90 degrees right, hinge back left, left heel, breathe in. Lovely stretch, so your fingers can reach the far horizon. Breathe out, sink into the knee and drop the hand down. Lift the upper hand up to the ceiling. Bring it over, if you're happy to, palm to the floor. So taking some mindful breaths there. Feel this inner fire being activated, feel the feet rooted, the fingertips stretching up to the sky. And then we're going to turn the hips to the right as we bring this upper hand down to the knee. And you'll notice that the back heel adjusts to go back. So rotated triangle, we can slide the hand, this back hand, which is your right hand, we can slide it to the hip. So we're facing the back wall, and you'll notice that lovely twist in the spine. And then slide the hand back to the knee, bend into the front knee, lift the arms. Slide that front arm across as though you're drawing a beam of light all the way across the body, and release. So this is option 1 for rotated triangle. I'll show you option 2 where we've got the hand on the floor shortly. So stepping out to the left, adjust the feet, hips forward, breathe in. Breathe out, bend into the front knee, drop the hand to the knee, lift up the arm to the sky. Breathe in, breathe out, drop the arm over, only as far as suits you. We want to keep the back as though the whole body's against a wall. And then we're going to drop this upper hand to the knee, which will mean that the back heel wants to move out a little bit. And then this left hand, we're going to slide it up to the hips so the spine rotates. And so the left shoulder's lifted, the right shoulder's down. Lovely. Twist in the spine. Slide the hand back to the knee as though you're lifting a ball of light in front of you, and draw that light across the whole of the body and release. Take a rest breath or a sip of water if you'd like to. So this time when we do the rotated triangle, I'm just going to show you. If you wish, you can bring this hand all the way down to the floor. And this back arm we're going to lift up to the ceiling. If you want to, you can look at the back wall or up to the fingertips. And then we draw the hand down, leading with the fingers, bend into the knee and reach across. So that is a rotated triangle with hand on the floor or hand on knee. You might want to open up that right arm, bring it back down, leading with the fingers and coming out. So those are the options. Let's draw that together. So standing in Tadasana, taking a few breaths, settling the body, stepping out wide to the right, adjusting the feet, right foot pivots on the heel, left heel back. Breathe in, lift up the arms. Beautiful extension through the arms. Breathe out, sink into the knee. Knee is over the foot. We drop the hand to the knee or the elbow to the knee. Lift the hand up to the ceiling. Fingertips reaching up as we breathe in. Breathe out, bring the hand over. Rotated triangle, either the lifted hand to the knee or fingertips to the floor. So this front leg, you can have it straighter, but if you want to keep it bent, that's comfier, that's fine. And this back arm, we're going to lift the elbow, extend the arm. So as though there's light moving from the foot all the way up the body to the fingertips. Energy is moving from the heart to the throat to the crown, opening all the upper centers in the body. And then bring the hand down, leading with the fingers, as though you're lifting a ball of light off the ground. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, spreading that light like a beautiful beam across the front of the body, and release. Let's try that to the left. So I can feel, I've worn lots of jumpers today, but I can feel the heat rising in my body. So stepping out wide to the left, pivoting on the left heel, 90 degrees, right heel back. Breathe in, extend those beautiful arms, open through the chest. Breathe out, sink into the knee. The knee's over the ankle and in line with the foot. Out breath, hand to knee, lift up the arm. So that's on an in breath, out breath, let it fall over. But we want to create a line between the leg, the back and the arm. Feeling your Manipura center, your fire center activated in this position. Don't hold the breath. And then the upper arm, we're going to rotate so the hips face the left. Adjust the back heel, hand to the knee or fingertips to the floor. And the back arm, your left arm, we're going to lift the elbow and open the arm. Feel the whole of the spine twisted. Just releasing any tightness or tension in the spine. Upper centers activated from heart, throat to crown. Light moving from the foot all the way up the body to the fingertips. And then bringing the hand down, leading with the fingers, bending into the front knee as you pick that ball of light off the floor. Beautiful ball of light and energy, and draw that all the way through the body. Breathe in and breathe out. Wow. Only 3 postures. We're going to do the third posture now, which is a warrior, warrior 2. And it's just so energizing for the body. So we're almost there. When we come out of the rotated triangle, we're going to move into a beautiful warrior and pause there. So here we go. So stepping out to the right, pivoting on the right heel, left heel back. Breathe in, lift the arms. Beautiful extension. Breathe out, sink into the knee, hand to knee, lift up the arm. Breathe in, lift the fingers. Breathe out, draw the arm over, only as far as suits you. We want a beautiful stretch. Activating Manipura. Pause in there. And then releasing this upper arm, either bringing the hand to the knee or the fingertips to the floor. And this back arm, the right arm, we're going to lift the elbow, open out that wing, either looking at the back wall or up to the fingers. Feel that beautiful rotation in the spine, activating all the energy centers along the spine. Light moving from the foot to the fingertips. Breathe in normally and then bring the hand down, leading with the fingers. Bend into that front knee, and as you lift up that ball of light, we're going to keep on lifting. Keep on lifting until we come into a beautiful warrior. So you can still imagine that you're holding that ball of light. So let's check our alignment. We want to lengthen in the lower back. We're not leaning forward. Drop, lengthen the lower back by engaging the core, lifting through the sternum. You can take the gaze upwards and then forward and feel the beautiful stability of this warrior. And in this position, affirming to yourself, I am filled with a joyful strength and confidence. I am filled with a joyful strength and confidence. And then draw the hands down in front, still holding that ball of light. And then draw that light right the way through the body, through the heart and out, as though there's light moving across the body, through the fingertips to the far horizon. I am a being of light. I am filled with strength and confidence. And then release, bring the arms down. Feet back together. Let's try that wonderful sequence to the left. So stepping out wide to the left, pivoting on the left heel 90 degrees, right heel back. So core engaged, lifting the arms, beautiful. Keep the shoulders soft. Breathe in, breathe out, sink into the knee. Check your alignment. Is the knee over the ankle? It's not drifting forward, it's aligned over the foot. As you breathe out, drop the hand to the knee and lift this arm up to the ceiling. Keep the shoulders soft. So breathing in, fingertips reach to the ceiling, breathing out, leaning over into that fantastic, powerful beamer posture. And breathing in and out of the nostrils, feeling the whole of your fire center being recharged, activated. And then this upper arm, bring it down to the knee or to the floor, fingertips on the floor. And our left arm, we're going to open out the wing. And again, if you're on the knee, you might just want to take the hand to the hip and lifting up the left shoulder or opening out the arm. Feeling the spine activated. Light moving from the foot to the fingertips. Bring the arm down. bending into that front knee, picking up that ball of light, and really slowly lift that ball of light all the way overhead, softening the shoulders, feeling that lift through the front of the body, knee over ankle, and gazing up to your ball of light, feeling the strength of this beautiful warrior posture, and then gazing forward and maybe closing your eyes if you feel steady doing that, and affirming to yourself, I am filled with a joyful strength and confidence. I am filled with a joyful strength and confidence. And then drawing down the hands in front, and then spreading that light across your beautiful body, extending it to the far sides of the world. Just pausing there, feeling the whole body energized and filled with light. Taking some mindful breaths, feeling that beautiful connection with the earth. And then releasing the arms, zigzagging in the feet, and coming to stand for a moment in Tadasana. Standing in your own strength and power. Strength and power that's always there inside of us. We just need to give ourselves a moment sometimes to awaken our inner fire. Noticing the breath as it enters and leaves the body, that beautiful connection with the feet and the earth, and the crown lifting to the sky on the in-breath. I am filled with a joyful strength and confidence. And then if your eyes are closed, gently opening the eyes. And then we're just going to finish this sequence. A beautiful way to finish this sequence is by lying down in Makrasana in crocodile. So it's a really great way in crocodile to anchor the benefits of a sequence within the body. So we lie on our front, and we cross the arms, and if you want to rest your head on the arms, and then we take the legs as wide as we're happy to, with the feet pointing out. If you prefer to have a cushion under your hips, that's obviously fine. Whatever version of crocodile works for you. So Makrasana, the crocodile, is a yin posture. It's a master posture. We don't need to do anything physically. We can just let everything settle within the body. So in this crocodile posture, feeling the whole body relax, and feeling the energy generated in the navel flowing in and out of the earth as you breathe in and breathe out. Beautiful exchange of energy between the body and the earth at the level of the navel. And just feeling yourself on the in-breath nourished and nurtured by the earth itself. Mother Earth, who is there to give us strength and love and courage. And then relaxing the head, awareness to the forehead, our centre of purpose, beautifully open and connected. Ajna centre between the eyes, beautifully open and connected by this beautiful inner fire sequence. And then feeling light, like a gift from the sun, flowing into the crown. And feel this light flowing down the body, awakening the senses as it moves through the body. Feeling the light, the beautiful sunlight permeating every cell and tissue of the body, bringing an amazing sense of joy as it moves through the head and the neck, the shoulders, the arms and the hands. Beautiful, joyful, energizing sunlight moving down the body, the torso, all the way through the spine and the back, the center of the torso, into the pelvic region, down the thighs, the knees, the lower legs, the feet, feeling the whole of your body resting in Makrasana, filled with beautiful, energizing sunlight. And affirming to yourself, I am a being of light. My whole body is filled with light. Taking some mindful breaths there, in and out of the nostrils. And when you're ready, drawing the legs together, drawing the hands down the side of the body and pushing yourself up into child. However that is for you, maybe with the knees apart and a cushion between the knees or the knees together. Either the forehead on stacked fists or the arms on the ground. And just resting there for a moment. Releasing any tightness or tiredness in the lower back. And feeling that lovely pressure between the thighs and the belly. Triggering that relaxation response in the body as you breathe in and breathe out. Staying here for a few more moments. And then when you're ready, really slowly uncurling the body. Thank you for joining me for this Dru Yoga Inner Fire sequence. I hope it brings you strength and confidence and joy today. Thank you.